Okay, this is how I filmed 10 riders in one day. Come with me. Look at that. Okay, so last year we had a spring slush sesh. I'm just calling it Slushies just because I think it's a cool name. And I filmed about 10 skiers and snowboarders in one day. I'm just gonna talk today kind of about what that event was like because we're gonna be doing it again in just a few weeks. And figured I would just wax my snowboard while talking about it. So here we go. First thing that I did was I messaged a bunch of skiers and snowboarders in the area that I knew. I'd started kind of making connections with a bunch of them through different events and just slowly gained friends on Instagram, and then just messaged a bunch of them asking them if they'd be up for basically a media day to see if they wanted to have photos taken, video taken, they could show off their tricks, and it would just be a super chill fun day. A lot of people said yes. Second thing was then day of the event, had everybody meet at the mountain, at the lodge there. So we went to Schweitzer, which Schweitzer has a really nice deck that looks up towards the hill. And on the second level is where we met. Inside, we met inside first. And then we went outside at a certain point right before like the lift started to open, and we did a rundown of the day. So I was really flexible with the riders, just letting them know if there was a trick that they wanted to hit, then I'd be open for it. Oh yeah, that's getting the wax off. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, it's gonna be all right. Okay, so step 3 was then getting the shots of everybody individually. We did that at the very top of the mountain. That would be nice. I should always check this first, you guys. It has been a while since I've waxed my board, if you can't tell. All right, we're gonna, for the third time, wash my board. So third thing was we met at the top of the lift and we got individual stop shots and group shots. This was like, we did photos and we did video. All the content that I'm doing, I'm gonna make sure that all the riders have access to. So if there's videos that people want posted of their own stuff, that they want their own editing style to it, they can do that. They don't have to depend on me to edit something. This board is so old. It's gotten me through so many seasons. Like I think I bought this in 2012. That's how old this board is. But it's because like every time I buy a new board or get a new board, I don't have enough money to go all out like I did with this one. And so I compromise like length or fit. And then I end up not liking the way that board, the new board feels. So I just end up going right back to this one. Old Faithful K2 Moment board. I ride a 150 and this is a rocker. I think it's a dual, so it can go either way. Twin, I guess, twin. So I could ride that way and that way, but I'd really like a camber, a different camber, like a really good, rather than a rocker. Okay, where were we? Okay, so number 4 is that we went into the stomping grounds and we just did just the look-through lap. This is combined with our warm-up laps. So the first run down the mountain was just warm-ups. People can hit jumps if they really wanted to, but I wanted to make sure that people had a chance to look at the jumps and features in case they hadn't yet. I know that there are some people that are out there nearly every day, but wanted to really make sure that people don't hurt themselves on the very first very first jump of the day. Okay, number 5. Then we went back up to the top, came back to the stomping grounds, and I filmed everybody doing individual shots. So they could go off of, we had 2 jumps available to us at the top there. So I just had everybody do a shot, a jump each, and just go one by one. For the snowboarders, I made sure I knew what side they rode on and what side they wanted their trick to be on. Like, because when you spin on a snowboard, you might ride with your back to the film person, and that's not as cool as being able to like see like you're doing a really cool grab. Same thing with skiers, like a certain way, like if you spin a certain way, it just looks cooler on the takeoff versus if you were on the other side of the hills. Number 6 is then we regrouped and we did the lower features. Like we filmed a rail that everybody hit, which was pretty nice. So see, this is an example of a board that I don't like. That one as well, unfortunately, is just a little bit too wide of a stance for my feet. So it's important to take your time and pick the one that you want. Save up for the one that you want. Don't compromise on a snowboard or skis. Number 7 was we went back up to the top and then we rode down to the stomping grounds together. I wanted to get a group shot. So what I did is I had myself start before everyone, but I went slow enough that everyone then passed me, and we then went to the gate together. And I did that later in the day too, and kind of stood there and waited, and then had everybody go through to get a really cool shot of everyone together. Number 8 was more individual jumps. Number 9 was then looking at a feature, another feature, if there were other features that people wanted to hit, or possibly a double photo for like 2 people to hit at once. So we just kind of regrouped and we looked at that and we talked about hitting that feature. Ooh, Mrs. Messy. It's been a while. Number 10 is then when we went back up to the top, I was then underneath the stomping grounds gate and got a video of everybody coming through that way. Number 11, we did a group jump. So this was where we were gonna go back to back with everybody. So everyone paired up, or if they weren't comfortable going with somebody, they went by themselves. But they paired up and they'd go off all the jumps together at the same time, like one boom right after the other. So there was no like rest, and it was kind of intense because it was like you didn't want to mess up for sure. But that one was a great shot for the videographers and photographers because they were able to pick. I mean, there's plenty of room on those jumps for everybody. I mean, we're not really that big of a crew, so you can pick a side. And we were able to really get some really cool jumps and shots of these people jumping off. Number 12, we regrouped and then we hit that second big feature. Woo-hoo! So that was the one that I was talking about where before we went to the very bottom of the mountain, we went ahead and I would ride down and make sure that I was in a good spot, told them like where I was going to stand, where I was going to be so that they could avoid me. And then they would do that second feature. This was honestly my favorite part of the day because it was really cool to see 2 different people do tricks at the same time, and like it was a really different kind of creativity with the feature that was there. Rather than just like a normal jump, there was kind of like a little hill, like a bump, and then I don't know, not really a hip, just like a higher up level for them to like kind of launch off of. So got some really cool angles of that. Honestly, it made me think like they should have a sport competition where it's 2 people. So like synchronized snowboarding, but it's more just like you're doing tricks together, and it'd be really cool if it was actually just skiing and snowboard. So you had to have 1 skier and 1 snowboarder. And that'd be really cool because then you'd be able to see both disciplines doing different and unique tricks, right? Oh, I need some wax there. This board has seen better days, let me tell you. 13 is repeating the main jumps and that bottom feature, that second feature. And then the last one was we all rode down together and got a really cool shot of that. That's the breakdown of the day. We did take a lunch break at some point, so it'll kind of just depend on where we're at. It depends on how fast people are hitting stuff or, how everyone's feeling. But I think it was like around 1 o'clock that we took a lunch break. and it was a spring day, so we all sat out on the deck. That was really nice to be able to look up. I mean, Schweitzer has a really cool vibe. I don't know, like a lot of people talk about like, oh, it's a big mountain, so there's like a lot, it's like really rich, and there's a lot of, it is the most expensive mountain in the area, but if you go with the right group, and if you go on a spring day when it's almost closed and there's hardly anybody there, you really feel like you have the whole mountain to yourself. Plus, if you stay in the stomping grounds area, those are the kind of people that I like to hang out with, so that would be, it's more fun. I don't know. It didn't feel like it was so big of a mountain or so expensive or such an elite club or anything. It just felt like we were just having a lot of fun with your friends, just hitting the mountain. I mean, I learned how to snowboard officially and get better at it at Bluewood, which has 3 lifts, and one of them's a bunny hill. So, one of them's a tow rope for the bunny hill. So yeah, Schweitzer's got a much bigger mountain feel, but it still felt like I was hanging out with friends. So the kind of content that we get individual photos and individual videos and group videos. I would make little rider highlights, just kind of showing everybody's skills, just compiling all their jumps and tricks throughout the day, which is pretty cool. The point is not to take yourself too serious. Don't take the day too seriously. It really is it's just a chill day. It's just hey, everyone was throwing tricks regardless of how big or small they were. It was just really exciting to be there and to push yourself with your friends. So there wasn't oh, so-and-so had the best trick of the day. Everyone was hyping each other up, just oh my gosh, that was so cool, nice grab, nice flip even. And what's nice about doing this at the end of the season is that you do have the whole season to kind of curate all of your tricks and stuff, and it's right before summer, and this is literally the best time of year to do an edit because you just practiced all winter long. Whew, I have a lot of wax on this board. Oh man, I need to spread that a little bit better. I have a gnarly groove from a rock that I hit at Mountain Bachelor on my board. It's at the top of the mountain. When you go down from the top, there's just a bunch of, pretty sure they're lava rocks. It's just rocks. That was also in the spring, so they were coming through, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna hit that. Hope that's gonna be okay. And nope, big gash. But I'm not throwing any trophies I'm not throwing tricks enough or racing, on this board, so not going for trophies. Okay, I think this is good enough for now. Let's see. Probably take some videos on the lift and take photos, like I said, during the jump. So we're gonna do group photos, individual photos, up close with gear. I'd really like to get some cool shots of people holding their board or skis off to the side and kind of looking out over Sandpoint and the lake there, which Schweitzer has an incredible view. If you've seen it on a sunny, clear day, it's an incredible view. I have not been up to the very, very top. The lift that we're taking goes to the base of another lift, and that has the highest view, but I don't think I'll have enough time this day to go up there, but that would be a really cool spot for photos. We usually end before the snow gets sticky. If it is sunny out, it's gonna get sticky fast. So for those who are thinking about throwing a big trick, just make sure that you do it early in the day. It doesn't have to be your very first trick of the day, but it should be one of the first ones, not the first. As a photographer and a videographer, I'm gonna have a plan to send out photos right away because I know everyone wants photos right away. So I'm gonna figure out a way to edit those quickly and at least get you a photo immediately of the day. We do a group photo at the end too that's really cool. Advice for photographers, videographers: bring snacks and have them with you on the mountain. I'm going to be bringing protein bars that are really good. Again, advice for anyone who's wanting to do something like this as a videographer or photographer: just ask the writers which side they'll be facing doing a trick. So if it doesn't matter, just have the sun be at their back. It looks cooler. So I'm going to wait 30 minutes and then I'm going to scrape this with this bad boy. Woo. If you've never waxed a board or skis before, you should do it. You should learn how to do it, or just watch what I just did. And then When I scrape it, I'm going to scrape it, let's see, I'm going to push this way. So I'm probably going to sit or stand right there and just push and get all of the wax, excess wax off. And I want to do it from, so just make sure that you go the right direction if you're waxing your board. All right, so that's it. If you want to join, go ahead and message me on Instagram or comment on the post on Instagram that I have pinned, and I'll send you some more info on when we're meeting and go from there. So yeah, writers, photographers, videographers are welcome. Buy your own lift ticket, get on the mountain. It's just a chill day. It doesn't cost anything other than your lift ticket, and it's just for fun because I freaking love snowboarding, and the skier group scene up there is really cool too. So, okay, that's it. Bye. All right, so, okay, here we go. All right, this is how I filmed. I just don't want to sound generic, you know? Be like, hello, this is how I filmed. Hello. Hello. This is how I filmed 10 riders in one day. Okay, this is how I filmed 10 riders in one day. Come with me.
Oh yeah! Oh my.
Hey, how'd you feel I did if I was your athlete, sponsor, videographer? What would you recommend me?
Yes, I recommend 100%.
5 star, guys, 5 stars.
We all love Jessica. Jessica's so sick. So sick.
Okay, I'll pay you $20 and you 20. No. Awesome. Thank you guys.